there's an update to a story. And this was a significant update. Let's put up a picture. Okay. Now, was hit by a vehicle, not any vehicle, a cop car. They did a pit maneuver on a human being. But the police report says something different, okay? On the night in question, the Radcliffe police were called to the motel to secure a possible trespasser. That picture is a trespasser who was roaming the property. Upon arrival, the officers encountered Mr. Gray, who alleges he was leaving the grounds because he was treated rudely by the hotel staff. He was leaving. Mr. Gray's lawyer alleged that with suddenly no reason, no justification, no warning, one of the officers restrained Gray by his arm, an action that frightened Mr. Gray and caused him to attempt to flee the scene. All right. Officer Robert Stevens has now been identified as the officer in the body cam footage who reached for Gray's arm. Stevens was sued previously for breaking both arms of a woman during a 2015 arrest. You see that woman right there? He broke both of her arms. All right. So that means Mr. Gray was well within reason to believe that the cop was violent. Okay. That provides you context, okay? Police body camera video of the incident shows Gray arguing with Stevens as he runs away saying, "No, I'm not going to jail." Stevens answers him as the man runs away on foot. Yes, you are. Gray responded by saying he was unarmed. At this point, the officer, Justin Skaggs, engages in the chase. Let's put up a picture. Got this from Facebook. That's Mr. Skaggs, okay? There's a chase. A man is on foot. He's chasing in a vehicle. Skaggs is driving his car. According to the lawsuit documents, turns his car about 180 degrees and rams it into Mr. Gray, an entire human being. Okay, let's put up that picture. All right, you see that? It's a pit maneuver on a person. After being hit, Gray says, "I didn't do nothing wrong, sir, but you ran my foot over." In disbelief, Skaggs asks one of his colleagues if Gray is telling the truth, and the other officer responds, "I believe his leg was run over by a police car." Gray's attorney, Aaron Bentley, states, by every indication, he intentionally runs the car into Anthony, runs over his leg and foot, causing pretty severe injuries. The incident report filled out by the officer said Gray ran into the right front corner of Skaggs' car. And from the impact, Gray was knocked to the ground and his left foot was run over by the right front tire. On the lawsuit documents indicate Skaggs faced no disciplinary action as a result of allegedly running Gray over, and claims Radcliffe Police Chief Jeffrey Cross and two supervisors failed to train and supervise the officers properly. The Radcliffe Police Captain Willie Wells confirmed Skaggs is still employed by the department and stated he would not be commenting on pending litigation. So let's make it very clear. You're the police, you decide to use a pit maneuver on a human being. You then lie on the police report to make it seem as if it was the other person who ran into you. And then when you're called out for it, you say, "Oh my goodness, they just didn't train us not to run over Negroes." That's your response. Okay, there's more. However, Gray, Mr. Gray, has been charged with first-degree fleeing or evading police on foot, third-degree criminal trespassing, and first and second offense, alcohol intoxication in a public place, pleading not guilty to all counts. He was released on a $250 bond. If convicted of the fleeing or evading, considered a Class D felony in Kentucky, he could face 1 to 5 years in prison. And I got to tell you this, the fact that he actually has a felony charge and the judge said $250. It lets you know the judge is saying this is some bull, okay? Let's put up a picture of the people named on the lawsuit. All right, that's called systemic racism. All right, notice anything about all of those guys? Okay, the people named in the federal lawsuit for use of excessive force and violation of civil rights are the mayor, police chief, the police captain, and the sergeant. They are sticking by their story. Alonzo, thoughts on this?
Well, you really don't care. Like when your lie is, no, he ran into the police car, right. Then you're not even trying to come up with a cover story when that's your, no, so let me get this straight. He ran away from you and then you got in a car and he decided to run toward the car and crash into it. That's the story you're gonna go with. Like, again, it's comical, but unfortunately we see this. And relating to the first story in Florida, shouldn't these cops have given him a courtesy ride home? He's right. Intoxicated.
He's at a hotel.
He's intoxicated at a motel. Shouldn't he get a ride back to his friend's house? You know, the systematic racism is ridiculous.
Yeah.
The judge, like you said, if the judge said $250, you don't get a $250 bond for running from the police. You go to jail and it's gonna cost you some money. The judge is like, this is nonsense. You would think in this age of video and body cameras that they would at least try harder to not be this bad, but they still say, yeah, we don't care if you got it on video. We can still get away with it. You know why? Because we're gonna investigate ourselves, right? There's another part of the problem. We're gonna investigate ourselves. So we'll be okay with this one. But that story, he ran into the car and broke his own leg. Come on.
Yeah, and here's what the judge likely looked at, because the judge did not have video at this time. The judge probably looked at the police report that said, okay, he ran into the police car, and looked at the charge docket that said he's charged with fleeing from the police. That doesn't add up.